My name is Tomos. I am 45 years old. Though my home is in a small village, I live in the city and work as a teacher. Every morning, after finishing my daily routine, I leave for school by 4 p.m. After completing all my responsibilities, I return to my room. Teaching is not just my profession, it is my passion. I teach my students selflessly, guide them with good values, and share lessons about right and wrong. With them, I am not only a teacher, but sometimes a friend, a father, and even a mother. That bond gives me immense joy. Every year, new students enter my classroom, and some old ones leave. The arrival of new faces brings happiness, but the departure of old students leaves a quiet sadness in my heart. Some students remember their teacher even after they move on, while others slowly forget. There is one student I can never forget, a child so dedicated to studies that he was ready to risk everything for his dreams. He was sincere, hardworking, and always first in every task. Teachers admired him, and he was loved by all. For a teacher, students may come and go, but a few leave footprints on the heart forever. His name was Dolton. He came from a very poor family, but from the very first day of school, he won everyone's heart. If he did not understand something in class, he would immediately stand up and ask questions without fear. He was always eager to learn. In studies, sports, and every activity, he stood first, but his excellence became the reason for jealousy among some classmates. One day, while coming to school, a few boys pushed him forcefully into a muddy roadside ditch. He fell, his clothes and body were covered in dirt. Yet he quietly stood up and still came to school. Not a single complaint escaped his lips. A few days later, some students threw ink on him as a joke. Another day, they pushed him off his bicycle. He was insulted, hurt, and humiliated again and again. But Dolton never spoke against them. Not once did he complain to me. Day after day, he endured everything silently, while the mischief continued. Then one day, Dolton did not come to school. I thought perhaps he was busy with some work. The next day, he did not come either. Nor the third day. A strange worry began to grow inside me. Something did not feel right. Unable to control my concern, I went to the address mentioned in the school records to visit his home. What I saw there broke me completely. Tears filled my eyes, my chest felt heavy with pain. I could not hold back my emotions. I rushed to Dolton, held him tightly in my arms, and cried. When I reached Dolton's house, my heart stopped. He was sitting quietly near the broken doorway of his mud house, wearing a torn pant and a faded vest. His small chest was heavy with pain, tears flowing from his eyes. The cheerful 12-year-old boy I knew had turned silent, almost like a stone. Beside him, his mother, dressed in a torn sari, was crying helplessly while holding his father's photograph. He was trying to wipe his tears and console his own broken pain. Mother. Seeing him like that, I could not control myself. The bright, intelligent boy I saw every day at school, Tilda, the one who always stood first, Tilda, was no longer the same. How could a child so young bear such unbearable sorrow? In that moment I felt that his laughter, his dreams, his childhood, everything had turned into stone. The very next day I called a meeting at school. I requested all the teachers to help Dolton's family in their difficult time. Some agreed to support him, but others remained silent. Still, my heart would not allow me to step back. I decided to help him in every possible way. With the support of 2 fellow teachers, I brought Dolton and his mother from their broken mud house to my own home for a few days. Soon, I arranged a small new house for them and ensured they had the basic necessities to live with dignity. From that day on, I took responsibility for Dolton's education and expenses. Years passed. I later sent him to London for higher studies. 15 years went by. One day, Dolton returned home. He had achieved the impossible. He had become an IAS officer. Instead of going anywhere else, he came straight to me. The moment I saw him, tears filled my eyes. The soft-hearted little boy I once held in my arms now stood before me as a strong, accomplished man with deep respect. He touched my feet and bowed. By then I had grown old and had retired from my job. It was just me and my daughter, Lucy. Life was not very easy for us. For a brief moment, a thought crossed my mind. What if Dolton became part of my family? What if he married my daughter? But the next moment I pushed the thought away. I feared he might think I had helped him for selfish reasons. I never wanted my support to feel like a bargain. Because true help is never done with expectations. Because true help is never done with expectations. As I stood there hiding my silent thoughts, Dolton looked at me with moist eyes. "Sir," he said softly, "whatever I am today is because of you. You did not just pay my fees. You gave me life again when the world turned away. You held my hand before I could speak." He turned to my daughter Lucy and said, "From today, this is my home. You are not alone anymore." With folded hands and a trembling voice, he continued, "If you bless me, I want to become your son, not because of any favor, but because my heart has always belonged to this family." I could no longer control my tears. I placed my shaking hands on his head. That day I realized I had not helped Dolton build his future. God had sent Dolton to give meaning to my life, and in his success I found my greatest reward. No matter how poor or broken the circumstances are, determination and guidance can transform pain into power. Success is not measured by position or money, but by gratitude, character, and remembering those who stood beside us in our darkest days. Dolton's journey shows that struggles do not define our future, our courage does. And the teacher's life proves that selfless help never goes in vain. Though Dolton was too young to carry the burdens of a family, fate had forced him to grow up overnight. He was trying to wipe his tears and console his broken mother, hiding his own pain.